So after the result of the week, I'm just interested in the way you approach it. Do you sort of talk about it a lot? Do you show them everything that went wrong? What happened on Monday?
Listen, it was pure down to individual mistakes in very key moments of the game that cost us a game on Saturday. Credit to Newport, but we know ourselves that you give teams goals like we gave on Saturday, you're not going to win football matches. It's as simple as that. So for me, my message was to the players that made the errors were show me some character, because that has to become one from within. You know, it can knock players' confidence when they make mistakes, but then they've got to be confident to make sure that the next game they're on top of the game and them same mistakes don't occur. So that's the message really. We don't dwell on things. We move on to the next one.
Yeah, and I guess as long as the players know what they did wrong and know what they should have done, then there's no point in going over.
Well, other than kick the ball in the net for the opposition, we near enough did that on one of the goals certainly. So they've got to. You know, they've got to be man enough to admit, obviously, they've made poor individual mistakes, and man enough to be able to cope with that. Like I say, I can't put that in them. They've got to show me that on the football pitch.
And I guess particularly for goalkeepers, it's always spotlight, isn't it? Any mistake is more than likely to lead to a goal. But Lee's had a couple, so how does he come through that?
Yeah, he's got the experience of the level. He's young enough to come through that. He's a strong character, so you know. But he's got to show me that on a football pitch. It's as simple as that. I think he's done quite well since he's been at the football club. But he's had one or two errors, basic errors in the last few games, where he needs to put them to bed and kick on and be mentally strong.
And I guess with goalkeepers, if they don't have that in the makeup, they're not going to make it anyway, are they?
Well, they've got no chance. You know, all the best goalkeepers in the world have had little bad spells. It's all about this game's all about character. I don't know many players that have gone through the whole career with not a bad spell. You know, we're talking about different sort of wavelength. But Eden Hazard was the world's best player last year. Now all of a sudden he's rubbish because he's having a bad spell. Which that's football. Players have to mentally be able to cope with the pressures of football of when they're not having a good spell. Same as managers as well.
Yeah, well, same as reporters, I'm sure. True.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at that, what this squad, and it is pretty much the same squad as last year, largely anyway, would give you plenty of optimism that that's there.
We're in a good, we're not in a bad position at all. That's, our away form's outstanding. I've said it before. Our away form last season were outstanding. Our own form last season were outstanding. For some reasons this season we haven't quite got our own form going. But what I will add into that is some of the performances have been good at home. We've got a lot of emails and a lot of letters coming through about the football we're playing at home and away in spells that are coming through from the supporters. And but we've got to be winning football matches. We've got to get that winning habit. But we've also got to make sure that we continue our impressive away form.
Is it because the pressure's off a little bit away from
a load of rubbish. The pressure was on Oxford. We got beat 1-0 at Oxford. Best team with 10 men. Should have won the game. A couple of decisions go against us. Northampton and Akron did defeats. Wasn't great on the day by any stretch of the imagination. Still had more shots than the opposition. So got beat 1-0 by the odd goals. So there's always reasons why. Notts County at home, better team, should have won the game. For me, so and Newport we conceded too many individual errors that you're never ever going to win a football match, even if you play in the park on a Sunday. So you've got to analyse some things. I know everybody looks at results and that's how it works, but one or two of the performances at home have been very decent.
So talk to me about the away form. Why is it so good?
It's good because we're doing things well. We're finishing more of our chances. We're scoring at good times in the game. And it's suited the way we've played, but that's we've been very attacking at home as well. So, but I think if we win at Cambridge, which is going to be a very difficult task, that there'll be another team that's spent a hell of a lot of money and disappointed in the position they'll be in. And if we win there, I think it's since 1990. The club's last won 4 away games. You didn't know that, Ed, did you?
I didn't.
No, I'm going to give it to you now. So that'd be some record if we can pull it off at Cambridge. And even James is surprised looking at me over there.
It's good to bring out a stat like that.
It's just the way I roll, really. It's just stats coming out of everywhere. Eh?
But it's a great indication. I mean, that away form has been particularly impressive. And I guess does it give players a spring in the step when you were out there playing? Did you know that in the back of your mind?
Listen, can't do anything about our own form to the next home game. Yeah. Away from home. We've got to try and continue what we're doing. It's easier said than done because we've had five away wins. How many did we win last time we got relegated in League Two? Yeah,
not that many.
No, I'll tell you, 2. So we've got 5 already. So we're on the right track. If we can continue with our away form and get our own form, which will come, because our supporters will keep believing in the side, and I certainly will, and that'll come round. We'll be a force to be reckoned with.
Looking at Cambridge's results, pretty inconsistent. Some very good results and some pretty poor ones.
Got a lot of players. I think he's got 1 or 2 out at the minute, but a massive squad. You know, we've obviously do a lot of work on the opposition. They've got a big squad, big name players. It's going to be a tough game, but they're all tough. Like I say, we played Newport Bombay and got beat 4-1. So they're all tough games, and it's that division where if you can string 3 or 4 positive results together off at once, you know, you're right in the top 7, right in the mix.
And there's nothing you can do about it being played on a Friday night. But is that good, bad, indifferent?
I'll tell you after the game. So listen, football players get on with it. You know, it's a night game at Cambridge. I'm sure it'll be a good atmosphere. We've got 600 supporters, I think, that are going to be watching it at the Mem with the curry and that, which is fantastic. So we'll be looking to put on a performance for the ones that are watching back at home as well, the ones that are travelling.